Hey y'all, so somebody asked me how I did the vocal processing just for the cover I just did of the Lil Peep song Hate Me, which is the previous video on this channel and also on my SoundCloud. My artist name is Mel Tess, obviously, and someone asked me how I did the processing, so I just made a video where I show my session and walk through the vocal processing specifically and like some of the mixing. So yeah, I'm gonna play that now. It ended up being long enough to just be a YouTube video, so yeah. Right now, you're looking at what my session looks like completely stacked up. I always do track stacks, so I have my vocals and my instrument, but when you open it, you start to get more like in depth of what's actually going on. So here I have my main vocal stack, my double stack, and my harmony stack. When you open these, they have the actual tracks. So this is just mains going through the whole song. This could literally be pushed into one or two tracks, but I'm just lazy, so that's more of like a laziness thing. This is doubles, so like singing over the main, the same exact thing, but just dubbing so that it kind of just makes your vocal louder. And doubles are good for most music, if it's pop, if it's rap, unless you're looking for a specific, like if you're looking for the style to be bumped out and like heavy hitting and hard style of production, like something like this would be in a pop style, you probably are going to want to do doubles. You can tell that I didn't do doubles throughout the whole song, so it's kind of just like up to your discretion where to put them. Like I would put them more seriously in the choruses and stuff. Harmonies, obviously that's also up to your discretion. I don't have harmonies going all throughout, but I just have them where I think they sound good. And this is all my instrumentation, so that's not what we're going to be talking about, but we're going to talk about the chain now. So what I have on each vocal is my general chain. So this is a processing thing. So if you want to do it in a cleaner way, I would say don't follow what I'm doing. But if you don't really care about your CPU processing and shit, this is how I like to do it. I like to keep my autotune as the very first thing. So on my autotunes on here is set to the key, so it's A flat minor or G sharp minor in here, just because they don't have A flat. They usually go by the sharps. Sometimes, most of the time in here. So I'm going with my settings at 100% retune speed for autotune and 100% humanize. Retune speed is the autotune, like it is the effect. So for example, I was to show you so you can see that like it gives more of that bounceable hit, like back and forth with a faster retune speed, where it hits all the accent notes and stuff at a faster retune speed. It's gonna sound more humanistic at a slow or a medium. I also have the most basic package, so it's literally going to be like genuinely trash. Like I only have 3 settings, and I usually on a song like this would just put it at fast. And I also have it on humanize. A lot of times I just take humanize so if you take humanize off fully, like it's just a little too robotic. So I didn't like that. So yeah, I have this on each track individually because it needs to be that way, because autotune is so like specific to the track itself. So if you were going to do track stacks, I would really seriously advise not putting the autotune on the fucking stack, you know what I'm saying? Then I have an EQ with a low cut of 50. This is just good for general like pop vocals. I have this pop vocal EQ, which is just boosting a little bit in like some of the low mid range and some of the high range of frequency. It's kind of cutting around like here. around like 1K-ish, and then it's cutting lows too here. So cutting 1K is gonna kind of cut out like tinniness and like uh some sounds that you wouldn't want for pop. So I always do that. I always do a studio vocal setting in the compressor. These are just all Logic stock plugins. I've gotten used to just figuring out what works for me and doing that. So Studio Vocal is like my favorite preset, and I usually mess around with it a little bit. Maybe I add a little bit of makeup or I change the ratio or something, but I don't think I changed it at all in this. And then I have a reverb going. I use vocal ambience, but I do like change this preset a lot. I usually click it and then I usually lower the decay, lower the density, and maybe I'll like raise up the dry a little bit and lower the distance a bit. Cause it's usually too reverby. Then outside of that, I also put on my stack a multi-band compressor, a 3-band. This is just gonna actually like make your vocals loud. The multi-band compressors are like the best version of a compressor. And then also I have here my limiter, and my limiters on my vocal stacks are doing like 1.5 gain makeup, just because it's going to add volume to your track, and this is happening on each one. The only thing that's different about my stacks is that the double and the harmony are lower, obviously, than the main in volume, and also the reverb on the low. The reverb on the there's extra reverb added to the harmonies, so these each have the reverb I was talking about before, but also on the stack have an extra reverb where I just added extra decay and density and stuff, just because harmonies are going to just naturally like be inclined to put more reverb. And then essentially like my mix in totality, I just do a multiplier and a limiter as well on the instrument. I also added here a vocal, a reverb right here, an extra one on the actual full vocal chain, just because this song is very processed, so that ended up helping me out too. And then I have a limiter going on the stereo, and I have it doing a lot of gain makeup for this song because I had to like lower the tracks a lot so that they weren't clipping. So you can see that they're pretty low. So I had to do some gain makeup over here, and then that's it. Like just making sure that you're singing into it and singing into the auto-tune and singing into the effects and not really adding them on after is also helpful.